We are here for peace. And as our hearts go out to others, we are here to tend to our own hearts too today. Gandhi said, "Be the change that you want to see in the world." Today, we invite peace through our meditations, through our poetry, through our conversation, through simply being here. So again, we deeply thank you for being here and being part of this fostering peace. On a more practical note, within the program, you're going to have interspersed poems and meditations. There'll be 3 meditations in total, interspersed throughout the program. And after each offering, whether it's a poem or a meditation or the conversation, we'll just leave a short pause. And this is just for you to still down and have a moment or two to absorb what you've just listened to or taken part in. We say in Mindful Self-Compassion and other meditations, we say, make the meditation your own, by which we mean, if some instructions, because they'll all be guided, do not fit for you at the time, just let them wash by you. And we would say the same of the poetry. If a word or a phrase or anything else about the poem doesn't meet you where you are, just let it wash by you. So with that and my heartfelt welcome, I'm going to pass you over to Hilary to start the program. Thank you, Hilary.
Thank you, Bar. We have, I believe, 120 participants actually actively with us, and more than 300 have signed up. So there'll be a lot of people listening on the recording. And we always say that these two are in some way happening at the same time. So people on the recording will gain equally from their experience. So we're going to begin by lighting this beautiful candle of peace, which is full of lovely oils and a very strong message. I have lit a candle of peace. My candle of peace is burning now. The candle flame flickering in the air, bending and curling, brightening and softening. The candle flame flickering in the air. And what is this candle flame? The flickers and dances are my full heart. The heat is my power and protection. The warm glow is my love. The dripping wax is my grief. The essence of the flame is my very spirit. The light coming forth is my blessing. I have lit a candle of peace. A candle of peace is burning now.
Thank you so much, Hilary. And we'll pass over now to Michelle to lead us in our first meditation. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Barbara and Hilary. I want to just offer us a brief meditation to help us come into the present moment, into the body, and to open our hearts. So taking a moment to find a seated, upright position, if that's comfortable for you. And if not, just taking a soft gaze. I mean, if not, finding a position that does feel supportive right now. And allowing the eyes to close if that feels right. Or you can take a soft gaze toward the floor if that feels better for you. And as you settle in, taking a moment to notice the external supports, perhaps feeling where the body is making contact with the chair or the floor beneath you, how the chair supports your back and your legs and your behind, or the cushion or the floor. And as you do, feeling the strength and solidity of the supports. Noticing how you can rest into that strength, that solidity. Turning toward the person sitting here, ourselves, taking a moment to greet ourselves. Maybe that's with an inner smile of welcome, or some kind words. Hello, glad you're here. Or maybe it's a kind or supportive touch, like your hand on your heart or elsewhere on your body. Taking a moment to greet and welcome yourself. And as we bring the attention now toward our internal supports, noticing the strength within your own body. Let yourself feel how the back supports you, keeps you upright. Even if you have back issues or back pain, still, the back is supporting you, holding you. Allow yourself to feel your own strength from the inside. If it feels right, you can say to yourself, strong back, as you feel your strength. And notice how this strong back allows the belly to soften. How this strength too supports you, like the chair or the floor. Strong back. And now bringing your attention to your soft front, feel how the chest and belly gently expand and contract with the movement of the breath in the body. Landing now in the breath and the sensation of breathing, if that feels okay to you. not holding too tightly. Just a sense of the whole body breathing. Accepting the breath just like this. No need for anything to be different. However it is, it's keeping us alive. Just like this. Accepting it as best we can. And noticing how the breath is nourishing the body with each inhalation. Noticing again the softness, fluidity, pliability of the front of the body. It's this soft front that allows us to be vulnerable, to know our feelings, and to be impacted by the feelings and actions of others. The soft front lets us know the inner and outer world, the way our breathing relates us to the world, taking in what we need and sending out what the trees need. Feel the softness, the openness, the vulnerability of the front. Soft front. And know that behind that soft front is a strong back. You can feel into the relationship between the strong back and the soft front, how the strong back supports the soft front, and how the strong back too needs flexibility and softness so that it doesn't break under stress, but rather it can bend with things. Notice how the heart rests in the space between the strong back and the soft front. Feeling the strength of the back. What amount of soft front feels okay right now? And feeling the soft front. What amount of strong back feels supportive? If you like, take a moment to play with the relationship between the two, knowing that you already have the capacity for both. Are they balanced? Is there an easy flow between the two? Or do you find one dominant and the other less familiar? Take a moment to notice which one you would like to cultivate right now. You can set an intention to notice more of the strong back or more of the soft front as we go through this offering of peace to Ukraine. Whatever you need right now. Taking a moment to notice your wholeness. Even if you want to cultivate more of one or the other, you already have both strength and vulnerability. And as we bring this practice to a close, please thank yourself for showing up for yourself, for each other, and for Ukraine. Your presence matters. You matter. And as you feel ready, gently allowing your eyes to open again if they've been closed, and coming back more fully into our virtual space together. We are interconnected, just like this. Thank you, Barbara, and all. Thank you for your practice and your presence.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for that beautiful practice. I'd like to read a poem now. The poems you'll hear are my own, unless otherwise indicated. This one's called Living Peace. Living peace. I want to know how to live peace. I want to know how to breathe it in and breathe it out through my lungs, through my skin. I want to know how to be peace. I want to know how to bring peace to others. So let me not close out the pain of violence and conflict. Let me not close out the unrest inside and out. Let me know all that is unpeace. But only then can I know how to live peace, how to breathe it in and how to breathe it out. Thank you. And it's now my enormous pleasure to invite Janina into conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you all for being here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. And as someone from Ukraine, I cannot even begin to tell you the depth of gratitude that I feel to all of you for showing up for my country, for showing up for my friends and family. I know that the ongoing war has been devastating, not only for Ukraine, but for the entire world, which is why we're here. And I know that for many of you, whether you know people from Ukraine, whether you've ever been there, or whether you don't know anyone who is directly affected, this is something that affects the world. And there's a reason for that. And that reason is compassion. We feel compassion for people who are suffering. And that's what makes us human. Compassion is the biggest gift that we have as human beings. It allows us to be interconnected with one another. And because we are wired to be interconnected, we feel the pain of other people, even if we don't know them directly. the understanding of another person's pain is referred to as empathy, and the tremendous amount of distress that we understandably feel when other people are going through a hard time is something that's referred to as empathic distress. And sometimes when we see other people suffering, we might believe in the moment that we can't help. Sometimes, I know for myself, I've been in situations where I thought that help looks like one particular element or one particular action. I know for me, when I was in empathic distress, I felt like I almost had blinders on. It was hard to see other options. When we're in empathic distress, it's like a check the engine light on our car that says that it is time for us to check in with ourselves, because the pain of the world affects each and every one of us. And it might be an indication that we need to focus healing and compassion on ourselves so that we can find that inner peace, so that we have more resources to then offer to other people. As a former, now retired neuroscientist, I can tell you that the energy that we give off affects not only ourselves, it affects other living beings. You might have read about research studies where the researchers might have several plants that are identical, that they might treat with the same variables in the same conditions, right? With same amount of sunlight, same nutrients, same water. But the main difference might be that the researchers might speak to one plant kindly and speak to the other plant unkindly. And the plant that is treated with verbal kindness thrives. And again, there is a reason for that. We have more of an output than I think we realize. For the past few weeks, every morning, I have a difficult time getting out of bed because of how heavy and painful things are for my friends and family back in my country. But when I get up and I'm able to either meet with friends all over the world like we're meeting now, there's a vibration that I feel deep in my heart. And that vibration is that inner connectedness. When we're able to find that inner peace for ourselves, and it might involve a daily practice, we have more ways to give support to other people. I imagine most of you are here because you want to help. I know for me, when the war first started, I thought of only one way to help. I thought of going back to Ukraine and fighting. But I'm not trained to be a warrior. I have no skills when it comes to fighting. So as I started working on finding that inner peace, I started practicing the giving and receiving compassion meditation practices that I believe Steve is going to take us through in just a few minutes. And I was able to see that there are many ways in which we can help. Whether it's donating money to UNICEF or rescue.org, these are refugee agencies that help refugees, whether it's sharing information, or whether it's creating this vibration, changing this frequency. We're sending love and resilience to the people of Ukraine, to people fighting for peace, to people all over the world. And I think that over the past few weeks, this frequency has been felt unlike ever before. As painful as it is My friends in Ukraine keep saying that they also feel loved and supported like they've never realized they were before. And through these practices, we're not just easing our own pain, we're creating the kind of frequency that allows for support, protection, and resilience of other people. So I want you to know that in these practices, in showing up, you are helping. You're helping more than you realize. That in sending loving kindness wishes, in breathing compassion for ourselves and charging ourselves up so that we charge up our own superpowers, that's the geek in me speaking, and sending out loving wishes and sending out compassion either through our exhale or through loving kindness meditation, you are making more of an impact than you might ever realize. So if ever you feel helpless, please remember there's always something that you can do. Please remember that you are helping. Please remember that you matter, you're loved, and that you make a difference. Thank you.
Janina, thank you so very much.
Love eyes. Love eyes. You are the key to peace. For your gaze is respect. Your gaze is acceptance. Your gaze is love. Respect, acceptance, love. These three, how powerful. If I could wish right now, it would be that each and every being could have your eyes. Imagine our world, each human with love eyes, seeing all others with love. How naive, the voices say. How ridiculous, the voices say. How stupid, the voices say. But I stand solid, and I will pray for the world to start seeing through love eyes.
Thank you so much, Hilary. We'll pass over to Steve now for the next meditation. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Barbara, and everybody for being here and a part of this. Thank you to Janina for providing the perfect intro to this practice. So I'll not say much. We'll just practice our superpowers together. So I'm just going to invite you to take a moment to maybe peel your attention off of the screen and allow it to rest on you. Maybe if you'd like to allow your eyes to close or your gaze to soften. And maybe finding some way to remind yourself of your own tender beating heart and your own kindness, perhaps placing a hand on the body somewhere that's soothing or supportive to you. And remembering that we're not just paying attention, we're not just bringing awareness, but loving awareness to our experience and ourselves together. Maybe noticing the body as it's supported by whatever surface you're on, the points of contact, the touch of clothing, the movement of air. Letting it all be just where it is. Allowing yourself to be just where you are. And as it feels right, beginning to turn attention, if it hasn't already, to the flow of breathing. Maybe even taking a few deep, relaxing breaths, mindfulness of the breath. Just noticing how the body breathes. It doesn't require our attention or our effort, it just happens. Breath after breath, nourishing the body. On the in-breath, soothing and cleansing the body on the out-breath. Breath after breath. Letting go of any particular effort. Letting the breath find its own natural rhythm. Simply allowing the breath to breathe itself. You might even notice how your body maybe gently rocks and is caressed by the rhythm of breathing. Feeling the caress of the in-breath and the out-breath. Letting your attention rest on the in-breath alone for a moment, just focusing attention here. Savoring the sensation of breathing in, feeding the body, one breath after the other. Feeling perhaps the energizing quality of the in-breath, if that's here for you today. And as you're breathing in kindness and compassion for yourself, for this one here. You might feel this quality of kindness and compassion as you breathe in, or maybe using a word or an image that helps you connect to your own kind, tender heart that wishes to be happy and free from suffering. Breathing in something good. As you're ready, shifting your focus to the out-breath, feeling your body breathing out with the ease of exhalation. And if you'd like, calling to mind an image, someone whom you love, someone whom you have seen, perhaps an image of a person or people on the news, someone who's struggling and needs compassion just now. It might be a single person, it might be many people. See if you can visualize that person or those people in your mind's eye. Some way of anchoring your attention on another or many others. Beginning to direct your out breath to this person or these people, offering them the ease of breathing out. Perhaps beyond ease, even sending kindness and compassion to this person, these people, with each out breath, one breath after another, sending the gift of kindness and compassion to those who need it. And if you can, broaden attention back to both the in-breath and the out-breath, the whole process of breathing, inspiration, expiration, just savoring this sensation of breathing in and breathing out. And seeing if you might find just the right balance between breathing in kindness and compassion for yourself and breathing it out for the other. Finding the right balance for you. How do you fill your tank so that you can give to others? In for me and out for you. Seeing if you can find an easy flow to breathing, letting go of any extra effort, any thinking, just in for me and out for you. Tending to this connection that each of us feels to others, to all other humans, and particularly to those to whom we are sending love and compassion. Cultivating that pathway that Janina mentioned, the connection in for me and out for you. Allowing the breath to flow in and out like the ocean, moving in and out, a limitless, boundless flow, endless compassion. Just letting yourself be a part of this flow, an ocean of compassion. In for me and out for you. And you can begin to release your attention and your practice, just settling into this moment, knowing that you can return to this giving and receiving practice anytime you wish to give. And be sure to receive as well, to fill your own tank, to energize yourself, to be able to bring this kindness and warmth to others whenever you like, drawing from that ocean of compassion. And as you are ready, allowing attention to perhaps return to this virtual gathering, the eyes to open. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you. And we're now going to be moving in to some poems from Naomi Shea of Nye. We have recordings of Naomi reading. She's not with us today because it's her birthday. And but she is with us in every sense, as you'll hear in her reading of her poems, which were done especially for today. Thank you.
So I will read a poem, Kindness, which is an older poem of mine and was inspired by a man expressing kindness toward my husband and me in the country of Colombia, South America, after we had undergone a great trauma. And it was this man's kindness that helped me recalibrate the situation and think about everything from a more calm perspective again. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things, feel the future dissolve in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, this must go so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride, thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize will stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you. He too was someone who journeyed through that night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to gaze at bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, it is I you have been looking for, and then goes with you everywhere, like a shadow or a friend. So I guess I send that out today to all the people of Ukraine who are witnessing how big the cloth is at this moment, and all the people of Poland, Hungary, Romania, surrounding countries who are being kind unexpectedly, because they have to be, urgently. They must be kind. So much kindness is being expressed in the region as well as tragedy. Shoulders. A man crosses the street in rain, stepping gently, looking 2 times north and south because his son is asleep on his shoulder. No car must splash him. No car drive too near to his shadow. This man carries the world's most sensitive cargo, but he's not marked. Nowhere does his jacket say, fragile, handle with care. His ear fills up with breathing. He hears the hum of a boy's dream deep inside him. We're not going to be able to live in this world if we're not willing to do what he's doing with one another. The road will only be wide. The rain or snow will never stop falling. And a poem that comes from a book for Palestine and for the whole world called The Tiny Journalist. And the poem is very short. No explosions. To enjoy fireworks, you would have to have lived a different kind of life. Thank you, Barbara, for your meditations today and your great heart for the people of Ukraine.
I think I might have been muted then. So thank you very much, Naomi, for those beautiful poems. Now I'd like to read you a poem called Bird of Peace. This is a poem that I'm living at the moment. I am your bird of peace. Behold your bird of peace. See how high I can soar. See how far I can fly. Limitless, boundless flight. With the clouds by day, with the stars by night. I can fly the world in peace. I can fly the world. Let me carry your heart around the world. Let me carry your longing around the world. Let us together make peace. Let us make peace. We can be the alchemy of peace. Let our cauldron take all the wounds. Let our cauldron take all the brokenness. Let our cauldron take all that gets in the way of peace. Pour it in. Pour it in. Let us say to the world, pour your hurts and wounds and brokenness into the alchemy. Invite the healing. Invite the healing. Emerge as new in peace. Emerge as new in peace. In peace. I'd now like to invite Heather Jane. Heather Jane is the CEO of a charity called Spirit of Peace that works tirelessly with peace builders to create peace. And I'll let you introduce the poem, Heather Jane. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Barbara, and thank you for inviting me to read this beautiful poem, which is called We Are of a Tribe. And I like to think of the world as one tribe with perhaps much differentiation, but at some level we are all one. And it's written by Alberto Rios. We plant seeds in the ground and dreams in the sky, hoping that someday the roots of one will meet the upstretched limbs of the other. It has not happened yet. We share the sky, all of us, the whole world. Together, we are a tribe of eyes that look upward, even as we stand on uncertain ground. The earth beneath us moves, quiet and wild, its boundaries shifting, its muscles wavering. The dream of the sky is indifferent to all this, impervious to borders, fences, reservations. The sky is our common home, the place where we all live. There we are in the world together. The dream of the sky requires no passport. Blue will not be fenced. Blue will not be a crime. Look up. Stay a while. Let your breathing be slow. Know that you always have a home here.
Thank you so much, Heather Jane. So I'd now like to invite Christine to lead us in another beautiful meditation. Thank you so much, Christine.
Thank you, Barbara, and thank you all for being here. Really have a sense of the togetherness that this event is bringing. So the practice that I'd like to invite you into is called the Golden Light Practice, and it comes from Akon Rinpoche, and it uses imagination. And there are some people who have very vivid imagination and visualization, and they might have crystal clear pictures in their mind and really see it happening, and that's fine. That's beautiful if that's you. And there's also people who who maybe are a little less visual than that, and who might just have a felt sense. And I just want to start with that reassurance that it's about following the feelings and just trusting that our intention is actually happening, and so that whatever is present in your experience, that is exactly it, and no way of getting it wrong. So once again, I'd like to invite you to just check in with the body and seeing if there's a way of sitting or lying, perhaps, maybe standing, that honors what's present for you now. A posture that is as comfortable as can be. And we could touch in with the movements of the breath as it's happening. And getting a sense of the aliveness of the body, resting here in this moment. Or we could open to and become curious about all that's present in your experience of this moment. So there may well be a whole range of physical sensations. Maybe some that you experience as pleasant, comfortable. Others that might be neutral or very subtle, barely noticeable. Maybe some discomfort too. Contention, pain. And just acknowledging all that's present, this whole range of sensations. May also be parts of the body where there's an absence of sensations. Just noticing. And alongside these sensations, there are likely some thoughts, maybe things on your mind. Also feelings, emotions present, maybe a mood perhaps. So we're beginning with this practice by just getting a sense of the full range of experience that's here in this moment. Connecting with this as the raw material for the development of compassion. We could imagine in front of us now a wide open space. And in this space, there's a doorway, a gate opening out. And in this practice, we can just continue to breathe normally and easily. And imagine that whatever is present in our experience, whether thoughts, feelings, sensations, that they flow along, carried by this out breath. And that it travels through the door, this gateway, this doorway in front of us. And as our experience carried by the breath passes through this doorway, this miraculous transformation takes place, and it is transformed all by itself into the golden light of universal compassion. Nothing we need to do to make this happen. And whatever raw material, whatever our experience is, that is carried by the breath, that is what is transformed into this golden light of universal compassion. And from here it travels out into the world. We could imagine it landing gently, shining on and touching all living beings. And we could imagine these rays of golden light going in particular directions, just following what feels true and real for you. And trusting that where it lands, that wherever it shines, wherever it touches, that it brings peace and ease, kindness and heart connection. So we can continue just resting here. The body supported by the earth. The breath breathing itself. And our out breath softly, again all by itself, traveling through this doorway in front of us. And whatever is in our experience transformed into the golden light of compassion. And there's no barriers, no boundaries to where this light can go. It can fill the whole of space. It can envelop this whole bright planet. And it also comes back to us. We too are touched by that light. More and more we can imagine this golden light of universal compassion transforming wherever it lands, any suffering, any pain, any difficulty that's there. More and more, this sense of peace landing. Peace, kindness, heart connection. And if the thinking mind has some objections or question marks, then those too can be traveling on the out breath. That too is the raw material that is transformed into this golden light of compassion. And really rest and trust into this process, letting it happen all by itself. And our heartfelt wishes, our heart connections, they too can travel on the out breath, finding their way to where it's needed most. And so more and more we can come to rest in that sense of golden light of universal compassion, filling all of space, touching all living beings, and in fact touching all beings, born and unborn. No limits. And if there's particular parts in our own being that are in pain or in need of that golden light, then really sensing how it travels back to us as well, filling our being. And then on the out breath, this effortless releasing of all that's here, all that passes through our experience. Flowing through the doorway, transformed into golden light. And now we can let this image dissolve. And I'm continuing to trust that whatever is flowing through us carries that same potential. That all of our experience is the raw material for compassion. And in this way we can come to rest in simple being, noticing what is happening while it's happening, no matter what it is. And from here, I'd like to invite you to bring your attention back to this virtual gathering as we're transitioning again.
Thank you so very much, Christine. And I think currently there are about 150 of us together here. And I just find it so moving to think of whatever we all are experiencing, whatever it is traveling through this gate and being immediately transformed into the golden light of compassion to reach all the people who are suffering. So thank you, each and every one of you that's participated in that. Even as Christine said, there's no way of getting it wrong. So with that, I would like to invite Hilary to read another poem.
Thank you, Barbara. Pegasus. Today, from the warmth of my heart, I send great Pegasus to you. Magnificent white winged beauty for you. Let him fly you to the rising sun so that you may bask in golden rays. Let him fly you to the sacred waterfalls so that you may bathe in silvered droplets. Let him fly you to the rainbows midst so that you may soak in wondrous colours. Let him fly you to the fullest moon, so that you may shower in dancing moonbeams. Let him fly you to the whitest clouds, so that you may reach out and touch love's hand.
Thank you so much, Hilary. And that poem and the next one I'm going to read was written for somebody called Mari, somebody very special in my life, who's no longer with us. One of the things that we can do, or that I particularly love to do, to be kind to ourselves and to find peace, is to be amidst nature. And the next poem was me out on a walk, sending it to somebody that was too poorly to be out on a walk at that time. Called Clifftop. Today I send you the flight of a seagull, a cliff-top glide on fast silver wings, its freedom expressed in each tilt and turn, an effortless journey between land and sea. Today I send you the song of a skylark, sweet melody from the sky above, transcending notes to lift the spirit up and beyond the green fields below. Today I send you the white-capped waves, glistening crowns in the noonday sun. With each incoming move, bending and curving, shaking up stones in loud display. Today I send you a misty horizon, hewn with pale shades of grey, blue and white. A hilly vista of cloud upon cloud, their stately poise above dark, moody sea. Today I send you my seaside treasures, the feel of the breeze, the warmth of the sun, a fossil-strewn beach holding ancient wisdoms, all here today, I send to you. And I'd like to send all of those last 2 points to each and every person here, all the people of Ukraine, the people of Russia, all the peoples in the world. Thank you. And I'll now pass back to Hilary.
I have I'd like to take the candle that we lit at the beginning, and for us all to imagine us this wonderful flame of light, taking it within ourselves and sending it out to all beings in the world, with gratitude, with joy, with peace.
Thank you so much, Hilary. I'd like to end with another poem. Love flows. Love flows as softly as the gentlest breeze. Love flows as warmly as the sun itself. Love flows as sensuously as the dancing waves. Love flows as firmly as the strongest roots. Love flows. Unfettered, unbounded, unlimited. Throughout our universe, love flows. We heartfully thank you all for being here and being part of the flow of love within this room here, out to all the peoples of Ukraine and in other areas of conflict, to all those, as Janina said, within the world who are feeling the impact of this war. May love flow to all. Thank you so much for being here.